Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of 5 Minutes with Phil. How are you doing today? I hope well. It is good to have you here. Who are you? Where are you watching from? How you doing? I ask these questions because we love to hear from you, and that means that if you could leave something in the comment section, that would be amazing to us, so we can just say thanks for watching, or we could just catch up with you. And your comments mean a lot to us. So thank you for leaving those and for sending those to us. Feel free to do that today. Now, let's get into the Word of God for today. We started a series yesterday, and we are looking at the same verse all week long, but we're going to unpack 5 different thoughts from this verse. And we are in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. And I want to read this verse to you again, and let's see what the Lord might have to say to us today. Okay, check this out. 1 Timothy 4:12. It says, "Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say." And here's what we're going to look at today: in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity. Be an example to all believers in the way that you live. Now, again, in case you missed yesterday, Paul is writing this letter to a young pastor in the church in Ephesus. This young pastor's name is Timothy. And Timothy needed some advice, some help from his mentor, Paul. And Paul wrote these incredible letters that not only spoke to him, but they also speak to us today. And we are given a challenge here, I believe, not just Timothy, but to us, in being an example to other believers. And I want you to catch that, to other believers in the way that we live. I think, and I really believe this, I really believe that we tend to be at our best when we, as followers of Jesus, are trying to help each other. And when we try to live this thing out together. And if you're kind of cut off or isolated from the rest of the body, this makes it a lot more difficult for you, because I believe that the Lord really wanted us to live our faith in community with other people. And part of that is in the way that we live. How do we conduct ourselves when we're outside of the church? How do we live out our faith when we're outside of the church? Do we live one way during the worship service, but a totally different way outside of that? Now, if that's the case, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because the goal of this pastor is not seeing how many people I can get to respond on a Sunday morning to my message. My goal is to see how people respond on Monday and Tuesday and the rest of the week. We got to live this thing out. And so we need to live lives of integrity. We need to be honest. We need to be people who are kind to other people. Let me tell you, I get so tired of servers in restaurants telling me that they hate the Sunday crowd because, 1, they're rude, and 2, they don't tip well, if at all. What are we thinking? Let's live out our faith, and let's be an example to other believers in the way that we live and how we do this. And we help each other. So as you're kind to somebody, another believer sees that kindness and they think, you know what? That makes sense. I can do that. That's what we're looking for here. So I really want to challenge you. live out your faith knowing that there's other people watching you, both young and old. And let's be an example for other believers that they can catch on to how we do this thing called Christianity, okay? All right, my time's up. Gotta let you go. Thanks for joining me. I hope that blesses you and challenges you. Lord willing, we'll see you again next time, okay? You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.